This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is James Arnold Taylor, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi. I have a good feeling about this.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to a very unusual and auspicious start to CWK Live. I'm your host, Dan Zare, thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. So, I don't know what happened, friends. I started the show like I have since, for 3 years. And everyone seemed, it wouldn't work. It disconnected. It said, I don't belong to Coffee with Kenobi. So I guess that would be newsworthy. So I don't know what happened, but I appreciate your patience. I'm glad you all found the show. I will try to figure out what in the world just happened there. Hoping that everybody can see me okay. Again, I'm your host, Dan Zare. Thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully it's working on YouTube. I'm getting a lot of comments, so I appreciate that, everybody. Hopefully you're able to see everything. In fact, when I look at my comments, it just says Facebook user. It doesn't even tell me the names of the people. So it's some kind of a software thing. We're going to let it ride and know that the Force is with us. Again, I'm your host, Dan Zare. Hello, everybody. Thank you for your patience. It seems like a lot of you still found the show. I'm posting it in the cafe and try to link it into the Coffee with Kenobi Facebook page. So tonight, here's what we got. We've got your top 5 moments from Ahsoka Fallen Jedi. I see Smooth is here. Hello, Smooth. And you're the first person I actually can see your picture, so I'm glad to see that. We've got Jordan is here too. Hello, Jordan. Great to see you back on the show. We got your top 5 moments from Ahsoka Fallen Jedi, Star Wars news and merchandise, and of course, your comments and questions. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week. All right, hello everybody. So yes, I'm seeing, for example, this is what I see. Whenever I click someone from Facebook, it says Facebook user. So I don't know who is saying it, which stinks. Although when I see something like Hello Tano Tuesday, I have a feeling that's Mary. I could be wrong, but I feel like that might be correct. So I apologize I'm not able to address you by name as I normally do. But again, my software is throwing me a weird loop, which I'm not used to. But again, we shall persevere. Let's talk about some news. Tom Kane, let us know.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
I think that some of the biggest news. So Ben says, if I comment on YouTube, is it better? Yes, because I can actually see your name. But on Facebook, it just says Facebook user. I don't know why. So D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, is coming back. It's usually every other year, so this makes sense. But it's great to see the official news. Hello, Darren. Great to see you, my friend. We've got August 9th to 11th, 2024. That is where it is. When D23 is going to be, it's going to be at the Anaheim Convention Center. It's where Celebration was. Celebration Anaheim back in 2022. So that's pretty great. So Facebook is having issues. Okay, that's what I thought. Joseph is here. He says, my wife and I are watching on YouTube and ready for tonight's show. Hello, Joseph and Mrs. Great to see you both on CWK Live. Yes, YouTube seems to be having more fun, so you can certainly go to the Coffee with Kenobi YouTube channel if you want to have a bit more of an interactive experience. Brian, thank you for posting your name. This is a Tuesday we have been looking for. This is Mary. Maybe we can all put our names at the beginning. That would help. That would help. Anthony is going to be at D23. Anthony, that is great news. D23, people have been asking what it's like. It's so cool, right? It's great. It's like Celebration, but it's not, because you've got Star Wars fans, you've got Disney fans, you've got Marvel fans, you've got different subsects of Disney fans or movie fans or the classic animation or the theme parks or whatever, but it's everyone together. The cosplay is incredible. It's just a wonderful, wonderful time. It's still a ways out for where I don't know if I'm going to be there or not, but I've been the last 2 times and I've loved every moment of it. It's a great thing. It's a blast. So that's big news. Liberty says, Facebook not working for me. Liberty, you are not alone, my friend. It's not working for me either. In fact, that's why the show was delayed and now is acting all wonky, but it seems working fine on YouTube. Hello, Julie. Great to see you, my friend. All right, what other news do we have going on? So last weekend in Florida at Walt Disney World, they had Disney had, it's not D23, it's called Disney, I believe it's Disney Destinations, if that's right. I'm all discombobulated because these guffaws here. But there was a lot of announcements, more than people expected. Some was just, hey, we're planning this. There wasn't a lot of hardcore, like concrete dates or things like that. But we did get a lot of hints and suggestions and news to some things, but just not a lot of information. So one thing we do know, the Animal Kingdom is going to have an Indiana Jones theme land. As you can see right there, that is the concept art that they shared at the Disney celebration. Destination D23, that's right, Destination D23. So at Destination D23, they shared it. It looks like, based on that map, that they're going to be redoing Dino Land, which was a long speculated possibility. And just based on that, it looks like the amazing Indiana Jones and Temple of the Forbidden Eye might be coming to Florida. I hope that happens. I think that's one of the coolest rides at Disneyland. But they haven't said it yet. All they've said is that there's an Indiana Jones themed land coming to Animal Kingdom. And if we talk about it here, that means it's official from Disney or Lucasfilm itself. And sure enough, Disney did say that. Okay. Darren believes the Empire's infiltrated Facebook, so here we are on YouTube only. Well, there you go. We better send in the resistance and the rebellion. Hello, Missy. It's so good to see you. Sort of, through the Facebook/thing. Liberty is excited about the Indian addition to Animal Kingdom where there will be snakes. I'm sure there will be snakes, despite what Ben is saying. Ben says you have to scan your chain code for your name to show up. Oh, that's it, but that's also a bit of a dicey thing. Anthony says, Indiana Jones in my backyard, sign me up. That's right, Anthony is now a new resident of Florida, which is fun. Another great piece of news, we don't know much other than in the spring of 2024, Ahsoka is going to be a part of Star Tours. Now that's great. Now they did say at Celebration last year, earlier this year in Europe, that they would be adding some new planets, but they weren't going to mention what they were. But now we know that Ahsoka is going to be showing up in Star Tours in the spring of 2024, so that's cool. Very exciting stuff, I think. Mary says it's David and Tom's fault they were First Order sympathizers. That's right. On the Halcyon, they were, in fact, First Order sympathizers. So there's the main news, but we've got some cool merchandising news. I think the first big piece of information was, as you may have seen, and it was often celebrated in the CWK Cafe, the HasLab Ghost was fully funded. The target was 8,000. They had to get to 11,000 for Ezra, 14,000 to unlock Kanan, and 17,000 to unlock Zeb. And 21,768 people backed this incredible thing, including yours truly. So we won't see it for at least a year, but just knowing that it's going to happen is really exciting. And then we have a year to plan and figure out where are we going to put this massive, beautiful starship in our homes. What a great problem to have. And as was mentioned on Coffee with Kenobi and other fan sites and podcasts, Hasbro said if they get to all of their tiers, they're going to also release on the mural card a Sabine and a Chopper. So while we haven't seen the official reveal of that yet, it was promised to us by Hasbro, so I feel pretty good about that. Terry says, I tried to get everyone I knew to get the Ghost. Yes, I know you did. I kind of did too. I tried to talk myself out of it. Hello there, friend. As I know you're new to tonight's broadcast, but Facebook is doing some weird things, so I can't see anybody's name. So if you could sign your name, that would be wonderful. Or you could just follow us on YouTube, and that would work too. Liberty cannot wait to get the Ghost. So happy to be a part of this awesomeness. It's going to be so cool. Can't wait to see everyone's pictures of the Ghost and looking forward to episode 5. I am too. And again, if you're just joining us, Facebook is not showing me pictures or the names of people who are commenting from Facebook. So I apologize for that. Wish I could fix that, but I cannot. All right. This was new today. The Venerator class Republic attack cruiser has been announced. It is part of the deluxe Lego Collector series. I believe this is the biggest Lego as far as length that they have ever made for Star Wars. And there it is with the scale. You can see the little mini fig, so you know how big the mini figs are. Here's one here from the new Ghost. So there, imagine the ship that you're seeing to your left, the Venerator class Republic attack cruiser. That's how big it is compared to this little fellow right here. Amazing. That thing is huge. It's coming out, I believe, October 1st. And Lego fans are extremely excited about this thing. Extremely. Matthew is here. Matthew, welcome, buddy. Great to see you. Great to see you. I'm sorry we can't see your happy face. And Matthew Ketters is here. Wow, Matthew, longtime friend of mine. Great to see you, my friend. Hope you and your family are doing well. Says he's looking forward to episode 5. I am looking forward to it as well. Smooth says this thing is massive. It's huge. It's huge. Speaking of huge, I got some news. A lot of you are checking out the official blend of Coffee with Kenobi, the official brew of Coffee with Kenobi, Thomas Coffee. So I've been working with them for about a month now, and it's going great. And it's going so well that they've actually bumped up the discount. So now, instead of getting 10% off your order, that's done. Now you can get 20% off your order. Use the code DANZCWK20 for 20% off your order. I think that's great. I legitimately love the coffee, and I hope you will check it out as well. But again, when you do, please use the code DANZCWK20. It helps me, but it also helps you get amazing coffee for a little bit cheaper of a price. So be sure to do that. Yeah, hit that like button. There you go. DANZCWK20. It's thomascoffee.com. All right. I think it's time to go into our top 5. Okay, here we go. It's your top 5 moments from Ahsoka Fallen Jedi. It was, Terry's tried it. He says it's very good coffee. Yes, I agree, Terry. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, my friend. Really glad you enjoyed it. Speaking of enjoy, I think I said this on the review. A lot of you have been going to coffeewithkenobi.com and reading my weekly reviews of these series. It's been great to get back into writing for my website. So cool to see. And it's been fun to kind of break that down. Of course, I break it down every week with Ross and Jen on Coffee with Kenobi. And we had a great time talking about Fallen Jedi. A terrific, masterful episode. Probably the Star Wars episode of television I've been waiting for since Return of the Jedi. That's how much I enjoyed it. Here's a comment that says, budget for only that Lego Cruiser or a coffee, hard choice. Well, you could get a lot of coffee for the price of that Star Cruiser. They're both pretty fun, I think. So again, we're doing top 4, part 4 of Ahsoka. Let's go into it. Again, a fabulous episode. Really looking forward to breaking it down with all of you here on the live show. Number 5, Hugh Yang fisticuffs. So there is a scene early on, as you probably remember, where he is attacked by an assassin droid, and he shows some serious kung fu moves with some blocks and punches. It's terrific. And Mason and I were watching and saying, wow, look at him go. I mean, it was just really hardcore fighting. It was just great kung fu. Seeing Hugh Yang do that was awesome. So that definitely made my list. It is my number 5. It looks like Matthew is saying the same thing. Matthew's nickname is Milk. That's a long story, but yes, he says number 5 is the robot fight, which is mine as well. Mary's number 5, the Scion going into hyperspace. Morgan saying to ignore the New Republic fighters. That was a cool, visually that was a cool moment. You knew there's a lot going on there. Terry says Hugh Yang's line, you always did better together. I like that too. That was very nice. Jason's number 5. Hugh Yang, he's kung fu fighting. Yes. See, look at that. That's number 5 for a lot of us. Henrik's number 5, we will go together, Ahsoka and Sabine. That's cool. And great to see the both of you too now that I can see who's posting. Thank you so much. Brian's number 5, the live action Ghost, a bonus for Jason pulling the lever to go to hyperspace. So awesome. I lost my mind when I saw the Ghost in live action. Terrific. Smooth saying the Ghost in all its glory. Honestly, I played with making a screen where 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 all said the Ghost in live action. I almost did that, but I decided not to. But it was definitely on my mind. Ben's 5, Ahsoka dispatches Marok. Lots of parallels to Obi-Wan taking out Maul, and I loved it. As far as the simplicity of cutting through sort of the fanciness of lightsaber technique and just getting right to the attack, because Ahsoka is a superior fighter, for sure. Jordan also says the Ghost in live action, definitely. Matthew Graken says Sabine in her full armor, which was great. We didn't get to see it very much, but it was cool when we did actually get to see it. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4 for me, I put head games. So when Baylan, Skoll, and Ahsoka are fighting and dueling, he says a lot of cryptic things. He says at least 3 times some sort of reference to her being very violent and aggressive. And she doesn't really dispute it, but she doesn't agree with him either. And why would you rationalize with someone evil like that? But there's something going on. There's some head games being played, and I find that really compelling. So hopefully we'll see more here later tonight. But either way, what Baylan Skoll, the way he's talking with Ahsoka, I mean, it seems like he learned from Palpatine as far as how to be duplicitous and talk out of both sides of his mouth. But I found it really compelling storytelling-wise. Liberty's 5 was the opening with the repair noises in the background and then blending into the opening of the show. That was cool. The sound mixing, again, is tremendous. Terry says Sabine holding her own against Shin. That was awesome. I'm sure that's going to come up quite a bit. Brian says Sabine fake force pushing to use her gauntlet on Shin was also amazing. Mary's number 4. Baylan, every time he's on screen, the duel was great. The duel was really tremendous. Jason's 4. Stay together. You were always better that way, from Hugh Yang. I wish they'd followed his advice. I know, as I said on Coffee with Kenobi this week, do they not watch Scooby-Doo? What's going on here? And Henrik's number 4, Hera telling Jason to buckle up, which was awesome. That whole thing, that whole cockpit sequence, great. Jordan's number 4, the lightsaber duels, plus Hugh Yang's fisticuffs. Yeah, there's some great duels on this one. And of course, you know I love the fisticuffs. Matthew G says Hugh Yang bar fighting. Well, that's one way to describe it as well. Joseph says lightsaber battle styles. Love the samurai versus the knight with Ahsoka and Baylan, which was epically cool. And the samurai description is quite apt, I think, for sure. Smooth's number 4, a visit to the world between worlds and the amazing water transition. You know, that's going to come up later, Smooth. I can tell you that. That's a great one. Liberty's number 4. Dueling between both sets of master and apprentice. That's right. Both times. Matthew Ketter, Sabine getting into action felt very Rebels. Yes, it did. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm liking this so much is it feels very Rebels adjacent. I'm still not going to say it's Rebels Season 5 because I just don't agree with that. It's just a very different medium. It's a different level of storytelling. There isn't one better than the other, but it's just different. But I like that it feels very similar, if that makes sense. Ben's number 4 is experience. Baylan truly has some of the best one-liners in the series. Yes, Baylan does. Number 4, I'm sorry, I can't read your name here, but it says the beautiful red-leafed forest. Gorgeous, symbolic, metaphorical. Very, very well done. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, we have Sabine's choice. Look, I don't like what Sabine does. She agrees to side with Baylan. That's actually, I'm going to strike that. Let's rewind. Bloop, bloop, bloop. She didn't agree to side with him. She agreed to give him the map because she wants to find Ezra. Now, she promised Ahsoka that something like that wouldn't happen, that she didn't really keep her promise. But I think that's not multidimensional thinking, right? I think it's a lot harder than that. We don't know what Sabine's full plan is. I still trust Sabine. Regardless, she made a different choice. Was it the best choice? Probably not, because she's with the bad guys. It's going to put her in extra danger. But it's still compelling. Again, just like with number 4, whenever you take characters and you give them something more to do than just have action or just deliver one-liners, but make them struggle with their internal conflicts and make decisions that they may not be proud of. It just really grips you from a narrative perspective. And Sabine's choice here obviously is going to cause some problems. Is it going to get her the result she wants? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. So let's see. But again, great storytelling. I'm really drawn to it. And the fact that the Ahsoka has brought so many more people to the live shows. I'm so happy to see that. Really glad to see all of you here. Let's see who else we have. Number 3 for Ben, Hu Yang's request, stay together. This line looms over the whole episode and makes you wonder how the episode would have unfolded differently if they did just that. I know. It would have been a lot different, I would think. Liberty's number 3, she says, rock'em sock'em robots. Definitely a reason Hu Yang survived all these years. Now that's the funniest description of it I've seen so far. That's great. Darren's number 3, the special effects of the ship were excellent. Yes, they were. So good. The special effects on this whole series has been amazing. Jason's 3, Ahsoka defeating Marek reminds me of her battles against the Inquisitors in Tales of the Jedi. I agree. And also in Rebels Season 2, I think too. Henrik's number 3, why, Sabine? Why? Don't give Baylan the map. I know. It's not easy, is it? Not easy at all. Kind of heartbreaking, but you also kind of understand it. Brian's number 3, all the lightsaber duels, double blade fighting in the forest, and Baylan versus Ahsoka. Awesome stuff. Jordan says when the line is given heir to the Empire. I talked about that on Coffee with Kenobi. Glad you brought it up here because it's super cool that Dave threw that into the script because that's a major excitement for us fans. Cato says, Dan can't see names tonight in your message with signature, and he'll know it's you. Yes, thank you, Cato. I cannot see names tonight because of something's going on with Facebook. So thank you. When you sign your name, I can be sure to share your thoughts and at least give you credit. Cite my source, so to speak. Sabine holding her own in a lightsaber battle in the forest, Matthew Graken. Yes, that's an awesome part. I'm worried about her when she turns on a lightsaber because I still don't think she has the Force. So we'll see. Mary's number 3, Hu Yang's rock'em sock'em fight, but also at the end when he's only on the planet by himself. Yes, you wonder if we're going to see much of him in the next episode. Terry's 3 is Hera's rebellion against the Alliance. Yes, that's more fun with Hera. They're getting her so much more interesting, I think. Joseph's 3 is the Imperial March cliffhanger. Yeah, I didn't notice that the first time, but it was pointed out to me as like, uh-oh, this is bad news. Pretty cool. Baylan's balance and restraint. I want to understand his story. I do too. And I don't know what's going to happen or how long it's going to take, but I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing the intrigue here. Smooth 3, Baylan, he has such a presence about him, whether dueling or even just his dialogue. He is, and it's even more sad. It's even more sad that the actor, oh my gosh, I can picture his name so perfectly, Ray Stevenson, that he has passed away. Leo is here. Hello, Leo. Great to see you. Finally get to join a live show. Woohoo. Leo, woohoo. Leo, great to see you, my friend. Truly happy to have you join us. I tried to do the woohoo regular. It didn't sound right, so I tried to do a Homer Simpson. Either way, dude, happy to have you on the show. Jen is here. Hello. So thank you again for sharing. Again, if you're joining me now, which is wonderful, seeing so many people, just terrific. Remember, you don't know this, but I can't see names or faces on Facebook, but only on YouTube. So please sign your name so I can give you credit on the show. Leo's 3 is Sabine's battle with Shin in the forest. Awesome stuff. Legendary. Cato says, the one about Baylan's balance. Baylan and balance. Interesting. I think I need more context, so I apologize if I missed that one, Cato. Actually seeing the ghost in person when having to zoom in or squint your eyes, like in Rogue One. Yes, so cool. And they did say, Hasbro did say to me, excuse me for coughing or clearing my throat. They did say to me, Hasbro did, that the Ghost HasLab is based on the exact model that Lucasfilm is using for Ahsoka. So it's pretty authentic. Hello there, friend. Someone says, hello there, Mr. Zara. Thank you so much for joining me. Unfortunately, on Facebook tonight, I can't see They're not giving me names or faces, but thank you for showing up. Glad to see you. Someone says, actually seen the ghost. Oh, we already said that one. Okay, let's go to number 2. Before we go to number 2, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to do a little bit of a quick commercial break. It's not really commercial. Well, it is, but it isn't. I'm going to show you a clip from this week's CWK pour over. If you know what this Coffee with Kenobi Patreon page is, or if you remember, sorry, maybe this will help it. You understand it. If you're a member of the CWK Alliance, you're supporting my Patreon page. You get a whole bunch of extra content. There's over 200 extra audio and video podcasts that you can't get anywhere else. 10% of your monthly contributions go directly to St. Jude Children's Hospital, and you get to see CWK Pro. Now, if you contribute at a certain level, you get to see the actual beginning of... Oh, no, sorry. This is a clip. You get to see movie clips. Sorry. Boy, it is hard to do the show when people keep texting me, asking me where the Facebook show is. Let them know. Share it out if you would. This is a good problem to have. Anyway, there are trailers. This is a trailer from CWK Pour Over this week. Myself, Corey, and Tom looked at the first 4 episodes of Ahsoka together, so it's kind of a review of the first half of the season. Here you go. Maybe. Let's try it again.
There was one thing I mentioned, and then Dan, I know you got some things you want to talk about. But when I was originally thinking about my grade, I was thinking, what if I didn't know Rebels? What if I was walking into this as a Disney Plus fan, but not necessarily a hardcore Star Wars fan because of the hype? Everyone's talking about it. They played commercials on broadcast TV, as well as launching several trailers and teasers. So if I had walked into this as a regular fan, our friend Brian had this experience after episode 1. He said to us, "Who is Ezra?" And like, Dan, you and I just about fell off our seats.
And he goes, "What's the deal with Sabine? She's so bratty." And we're like,
right.
Whoa.
And so I'm like, what would a
mister.
Yeah, right, exactly. What would a non-Rebels fan be?
All right, there you go. It was fun. We kind of gotten away from talking Star Wars on the Pour Over Patreon show. So to be able to talk about Ahsoka with the 2 of them, and the 3 of us haven't talked about it together. We certainly haven't talked about it on the air, so it was fun to do that. Go to patreon.com/coffeewithkenobi or coffeewithkenobi.com/CWK Alliance to find out how you can support me and Patreon and get access to over 200 podcasts and videos. All right, looks like we have moved on to number 2. So let's do that on my end. Number 2 for me, I put the transition to a world between worlds. Smooth mentioned this earlier, but towards the end, Ahsoka, there's this water cascading into the rocks, and it slowly transitions from water and waves of water to waves of light. And then it transitions into this other place, which we eventually figure out is a world between worlds. But the cinematography on that is riveting. It's absolutely compelling and beautiful. And it's really, really strong. Like, this is an Emmy-worthy series, the way this thing has been constructed and put together. And the cinematography on that transition and the directing is peerless. Really, really top-notch stuff. So that is my number 2. Okay, let's see what else we have for people. Darren's 2. The tension made when Ahsoka and Sabine split up. Not long after they basically agreed they were better together than apart. I know, and just life has a way of kind of throwing those curves at you, and they fell right into it. But it's understandable. It's not like they were being reckless. It's like the villains split them up. So it could have been strategic. Number 2 for Brian, live action Anakin and live action Ahsoka. I mean, honestly, what else could you say? I mean, that's everything. I mean, explaining to people, look, this is live action Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker, and live action Ahsoka Tano together. If you had told us this 10 years ago, no one would have ever believed it as a possibility. It would have sounded like some sort of a fan fever dream, and it's real. And we're going to get to see more of it. Just great. Number 2 for Ben, Balin versus Ahsoka. His fighting style is very unique and calculated. He fights with so much power and aggression. It's most impressive. I see what you did there, Ben. Jordan's number 2. Everyone in the order knew Anakin Skywalker. If you would live to see what he became, which is Ray Stevenson. One of his lines, Jordan says his performance is top notch. Yes, it is. It's great. Look, you can see down there. You can see my Lego Ghost box. I haven't gotten very far, but I've got it. It's the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning, friends. Leo's number 2, Balin's Mind Games that he plays with Ahsoka and Sabine. Yeah, that's my number 4. I think that's really great stuff. Really compelling psychologically. Brian's next one is, was Tom talking about this blasphemy and non-Rebels fan? I know. They do exist, but it's only because he hadn't seen Rebels. Now he's halfway through season 2 and he's loving it. So, Liberty's next one, number 2, seeing the ghosts group up with the X-Wings. Hera being called Phoenix Leader. Lots of nuts, Rebels. I'm here for it. Liberty's so awesome. That is so awesome. And I caught the Phoenix Leader thing too, and seeing it with the X-Wings, and just adds more like gravitas to what we love and what we've seen for years. And then seeing a live action for everybody is just wonderful. Number 2 for Joe is A World Between Worlds. The cinema in transition with the water stars gave me the Hawkeye Soulstone vibe. Well, that's a cool idea. That's a great comparison. That's very true. Very true. Smooths 2. Ahsoka versus Merrick versus Balin. What awesome lightsaber dueling. Tremendous stuff. He says he's totally jealous of my Lego ghost. You know what? I was trying to avoid it. Well, not very hard. And then Ross posted in the CWK Cafe. By the way, I'm going to take a quick break for a second. So as a lot of you know, many of our friends who join us are in theaters across the country and some overseas watching part 5 of Ahsoka before any of us on the big screen. There were tickets given out for free, and which is wonderful and a cool thing. Ross got the tickets, drove 3.5 hours, and then he got to the movie theater and was turned away. That stinks. That stinks. I don't know anything about what happened. I obviously was not there. I know Ross is a great guy and that he was really excited about it. Here's what I think. This is my speculation. This is just me. I rarely make statements like this, but I'm going to make this one because this affects my friend Ross. And then Father Jimmy tried to do the same thing in DC, and he was turned away too. I don't think this is a Disney or Lucasfilm fault. If you give access to a theater to show a movie or a presentation, and then you say, hey, here's the tickets, and people get the tickets that you told them how to get them, and the theater doesn't accept them, come on. That's not fair. That's not fair. So I want to go on record and say I do not blame Disney or Lucasfilm in any way for this. I think this is a poor management by the movie theaters. It's not fair. If people are getting excited, taking time off work or driving far to see something like that, and Disney and Lucasfilm have given you permission to do it, and they have tickets, you don't let them in, something's not right. So not a fan. Sorry, that was a long rant. I don't normally like to do things like that, but it affected our people. It affected our CWK family, and family comes first. You know. Okay. Terry says, FY, the Facebook Live is now preventing messages or commenting on the live show. Well, that's not good. I'm sorry to hear that, everyone. If you want to join us on YouTube, same show, same thing right there. You can certainly comment, and I'll be able to see everything that you are doing. Wow. A lot of crazy things happening tonight. That's all right. Number 1. Let's talk number 1. Number 1 for me, it's Hey Snips. I didn't hear it the first time. I watched it the second time with the captions on. And quite simply, what it said mysterious voice, Hey Snips. This was before they officially revealed that it was Hayden Christensen / Anakin Skywalker. But the fact that Hayden Christensen said, Hey Snips, as Anakin Skywalker, to a live action Ahsoka on Disney Plus, on the Ahsoka series, I have goosebumps. This is tremendous. And it happened. And it's just a great callback to the Clone Wars movie, which I saw in theaters, 2007? Is that right? Is that when it came out? Amazing. Seriously, it's so awesome. It makes me so happy. I can't wait to see what we have in store for us tonight. Darren's number one is lightsabers, and more lightsabers. Great lightsaber action in this episode. Ahsoka using Force telekinesis to move enemies into one another. A lot of great lightsaber moves and trickery. Just awesome stuff. Ben says, Ahsoka and Anakin reunited in a world between worlds. Can't wait to see where this cliffhanger picks up in 20 minutes. I know. We're just 19 minutes away. Liberty is convinced it's the dark side trying to interfere. Maybe, but the light is stronger. And we're the sparks that will light the fire. You know how that goes, Liberty. Jordan's number one is Anakin Skywalker, which, of course, is, well, I shouldn't say of course, if people are listening and not watching with us live, which I understand. Things happen, life is busy. But remember, you can listen to the audio podcast version of live every week, wherever you can listen to your podcasts, which is really cool. I actually enjoy that too. Jordan's picture on YouTube is Anakin Skywalker, and he mentions Anakin, so that's great. Mary's on YouTube. Hooray! Awesome. Her number two is The Ghost with Hera, Jason, and Chopper. Mom, I have a bad feeling. Wow, plus Brendan Wayne is one of the pilots. That's right. It's pretty cool stuff. Smooth's number one. Hey, Snips, without a doubt, the best made my mouth drop. Just incredible. I was floored. And again, I didn't hear it at first. I just heard something. And Mason and I looked at each other, and we said, wait, whose voice was that? Who? And we're like, is it Ezra? Is it Anakin? I don't know. Now we do. Joseph's number one. Ray Stevenson. Actors always do their best to embody a character, but Ray's performance so far makes you believe in the character. Wish you could feel all the love he's receiving. I think you can, my friend. I think he's smiling down from heaven. But I know what you're saying. Leo's number one. Hearing live action Anakin say hi, hey Snips to live action Ahsoka while introducing a world between worlds at the same time. Talk about getting shook as a fan, right? Just reading your sentence out loud, Leo, I'm just like, I can't believe we got to experience this. It's amazing. Brian's number one. Balin, more Balin. Can't get enough of him. His fighting prowess against Ahsoka and using the Force to read Sabine to get the map. That was cool. He's legit. Matt is here on WD Magic Cast. Awesome. He says the duel's going on at the same time between Master and Apprentice. Still don't know why Ahsoka only used one saber in a Shogun style, but the multi-level of fighting and trickery being used is pretty cool. So I talked about this on my Coffee with Kenobi review, my weekly review, and on the show. So my theory is it's like more aggressive in samurai style, which samurai doesn't necessarily mean aggressive really at all. But it seems like she's making it more personal. And I think that's a problem when you're dealing with the light side. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Kato's number one. The way the benches and tables fold into the floor on Ahsoka's ship is fascinating to me. I love that too. I love that you picked that as your number one. Of course she has an origami ship. Well, of course Anakin goes without saying. Yes. Kato, that's great. I always love your wit and insights. So thank you for sharing that. Look, next week, what are we going to do? Thank you, everybody, by the way, for joining me. It's awesome. We continue to have more and more people join me on the live show, and I join all of us on the live show, pardon me, and I could not be happier. Next week, we're going to talk all about the episode we're going to see in 16 minutes, your top 5 moments from part 5 of Ahsoka. Hopefully next week, Facebook will be cooperating. But in the meantime, let's go to Ask Dan Z. All right, it might be harder if you normally ask me questions on Facebook, but here we are. This is Ask Dan Z. Now, if you're just getting ready, getting fired up to watch the 5th episode of Ahsoka, I get that. As soon as I hang up, I'm going to make myself a pot of tea. Not a pot of tea. I'm going to get some tea. I'm going to get myself a little bit of a snack. Mason and I are going to turn on the TV. We're going to watch Ahsoka. How do you watch Ahsoka? However you watch it, I love knowing that all of us are watching it. We're all hitting play at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. It's so cool, right? It's this community aspect that we love so much about Star Wars. Speaking of community, I'll be remiss if I did not remind you that in the summer of 2025, Coffee with Kenobi and Mouse Fan Travel are going on the Disney Wish. Find out more at coffeewithkenobi.com/mousefan-travel. We do not have dates yet, because dates for those cruises have not been announced. But in the summer of 2025, you can start saving your money and joining us for an incredible time. We all went on the Halcyon, and it was absolutely terrific. Don't forget again that you can go to Thomas Coffee, and you are able to get the coffee that is the official coffee of Coffee with Kenobi. Where is my little ad? Here we go. So it's actually Danzy CWK 20 for 20% off. They just upped it for me yesterday, which is amazing. So go to thomascoffee.com, Danzy CWK 20, and you'll get 20% off. To me, it's the best coffee out there. I absolutely love it. And I think that you will too. What type of tea do I drink? So it depends. I'm a big cinnamon guy, so I like the cinnamon spice tea. I think those are pretty good. So there you go. It's great, again, to see all of you. Thank you so much for joining me, for spreading the word, for being a part of our Coffee with Kenobi family. Of course, the CWK Cafe is a great place to go for spoiler-free, and family-friendly conversation. After the show, go into the CWK Cafe and post your thoughts. There will be something that we'll post shortly after the show drops, and then and it will be spoiler-free. And then Saturday morning, I will post a spoiler-filled option as well, just to give people time, to watch the show. Because some people can't watch it tonight right away for whatever reason. Matthew says Ahsoka is his first Star Wars series the whole family's watching together. As a dad, he's been loving these moments, and boy, my boys learn how awesome Ahsoka is. That's cool, man. That's what it's all about. Darren, is there something Star Wars special on a Disney Wish, or the same things? No, there very much is. It's at that picture that you may have seen. There's a Star Wars lounge. There's a hyperspace lounge. Let me get the picture back up here again. Yeah, look on the right. That's the Star Wars hyperspace lounge. It is only on the Disney Wish. So, to me, that's pretty sweet. Looking forward to see you all again. Cato, thank you so much. What are my thoughts on the Bears after week 1, Leo? My thoughts on the Bears are, I think they're still the worst team in football until they prove me otherwise. And, man, it killed me. But, it's been a rough start to the year for some people, especially Jets fans. I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers and what happened there, but hopefully the Bears will get better. Smooth, may the force be with you. Have a great week. The Wish has a Star Wars lounge. Yes, that's right. Thank you again so much, everybody. We will see you next time. Enjoy Ahsoka. Remember, this is the podcast you're looking for.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here.